Welcome to the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium here in Nassau, Bahamas. You are watching the Queens in Paradise Softball Series live on 10th Year Seniors TV, powered by Don't Blink Entertainment and Be For Real Entertainment. I'm Ronaldo Dorset in the booth, joined by Ricardo Wells. And Ricardo, we are about to see professional softball like most in the Bahamas have never seen before, played at a high level with some of the most talented players you can see on the softball field. Getting things started for the Monarchs. Number 24, Tessa Malaulu, lefty out of Cal State Fullerton. Goes for the bunt on the first pitch, and Pease, this is how you always want a starting pitcher to get the game going. I know every coach on the sideline is always screaming first pitch strike.
That's the beauty about softball. It's the small ball version of baseball, the ability to get the ball around the bag and get people on and make plays.
Pease delivers and connects, and she goes deep to left field, and that one is going to be down. Gets in there for a double.
And there we go right away, Ronaldo. Like I said before, it's tremendous power. We see it during pregame warm-ups, and we see it right there on the first at-bat for the night.
So second pitch she sees, drives it into the gap for a double. And now Alex Coleman up to bat now for the Monarchs, looking to keep things going.
Do we see another bunted attempt to advance that run over the third?
We're going to find out together. Pease set for the delivery.
She stepped in with that in mind. So definitely you see the attempt now to move that runner along to try and get those points to pile up.
But we did see Malaulu do the same thing on the first strike, on the first pitch. Second pitch she saw, she took it the double opposite field.
Misplay there at third. So that could be trouble most of the night. The ability to actually play those ground balls coming off. Again, it's the Bahamian summertime. You know, you have the little glare during sunset. So that may have been a problem there for the third baseman to try and feeling that ball.
They're from Atlanta, Cardo. I feel like they are accustomed to playing.
It's a bit different here in terms of the sunset.
In these conditions.
It's warm. It's nice. Both cities have that to offer. There we go. Again,
there's another line drive. Skaggs is going to drive two home with her double. Play at the plate is late.
That was actually no play at the plate just now. Again, you can see that this is going to shape up to be the story tonight. The ability to get power right off the ball and actually drive runs home. We saw that by Skaggs just now.
So I was just about to say, how long do the Smoke go before they at least have a conversation with Pease at the plate? Three base hits, two doubles, and already 2 runs driven in by Skaggs. First game on the road, of course, you're gonna trust your ace in this situation, allow her to settle in. But you do want to see her have one good series against one of these Monarch hitters. This is Morgan Smith at the plate now. Looking to see if she can continue this run for Orlando. And that one is caught by Howe. Great play in right field, number 47. That's Morgan Howe pulling that one down.
So we was able just now to see the pitcher Pease actually settle down a bit and try to make a tremendous pitch. She was able to do that, to put that ball in play. I don't know if it's a signal that she's ready to calm down for the rest of the inning, but she looks to be a bit more reserved at that last pitch.
And they're saying they doubled up Smith.
Do we get a replay on that? Or
at second?
That may have been a bit too close to call.
Well, they called it. And they're going to double up Smith at second. So after starting so well at the plate, base running error there. It did look like a line drive that was going to be down, but you got to see that one through.
But in the pregame notes, it does specify the P. She's consistently able to change speeds on a pitcher, so that may have played a role there. Again, foul ball. So she looks like she's falling into command right now.
At the plate right now for the Monarchs, Mac Barbara. Down to first.
Easy play at first base just now to get her. It was a tough start to the inning for Peace, but like I said, she was able to settle down on the back half and make some tremendous pitches.
The double play was certainly the thing to get them out of that inning. It was the boost that they needed. After the top half of the first, Orlando with a 2-0 lead on Atlanta. So bottom half of this first inning about to get underway. Getting things started for the Monarchs, Caitlin Felton. At the plate for the Smoke, Janae Jefferson, the second baseman, leading off. Top half of the lineup for the Smoke certainly did their job. Smoke looking to respond. Hilton delivers.
Is it going to get down? Foul.
Jefferson, quick hands to fight that one off. So 1-1 the count. And this is D1 talent all over the field. Jefferson out of Texas. Of course, you just saw Texas win the Women's College World Series. And there she is, able to get a bloop single into right field just over the outstretched hands.
So the infielders played that one a bit short just now, allowing the ball to just get right over the first baseman's head, loop into left field.
I think that was one of those where that was going to land either way, no matter where they were playing that one. It was one of those that, you know, sometimes baseball, softball is as simple as hit them where they ain't.
Fair point.
And that just happened to fall in a position where nobody could get to that one. Number 3, Coco Woolley now at the plate.
There we go again. Foul.
Just inside, but she turned on that one. And it goes foul.
So we see the pitcher right now. She's trying to find the best place to locate that pitch. She's trying to choke him up on the inside. It's a bit of a struggle right now, though.
Yeah, you saw Felton go inside on Jefferson.
Again, do it.
One and one to Woolley. Felton set to deliver.
There we go.
Let's see if they can turn two.
Safe at first base.
So Woolley is in there safe. They're able to get Jefferson at second. So lead runner doesn't advance, and so still Atlanta with just a base runner on first. Looking to respond to these 2 runs put up quickly by the Monarchs.
So as we work our way through these early on innings for our Bahamian audience, we just want to give some background for some of the teams that are on display here tonight. Of course, the Monarchs, based out of Orlando, founded in 2023. First player signing occurred in 2024. Home base, part of the Women's Fast Pitch League, expansion into major media markets alongside teams like Atlanta and Texas. For the teams in Orlando, well, for the home fans in Orlando, they know the term very, very well, find your wings.
Well, they certainly did that at the plate in the top half of this first inning. Jade Cody at the plate for Atlanta. Still looking to get this offense going. Find your wings. I like that slogan.
I think you like it for another reason, but
it's a great slogan. They've obviously done that here in the top half of the first inning.
Foul tip right there. But right now, again, we touched on this a short while ago. The humidity here in Nassau is a bit different from what they left behind. It's summer. It's a different
They play
summer.
in Orlando.
It's a different summer temperature. And what you see right now is this pitch is, you're going to question as we move on into the later innings if she's able to hold up given the humidity. I know we want to say Orlando is similar to Nassau, but it's a different temperature.
But Felton has had good command. Felton has had good command of her pitches so far. We mentioned and there again, she going inside.
There's a play.
And the Monarchs 1 out away from getting out of this inning, and all Atlanta has been able to manage so far is a bloop single to right. Infielder Charlotte Eccles now.
But I think we have to keep our eye on that pitch count as it piles up. I know it's just the first inning, but as you can see, all of the batters so far for Atlanta has been able to work their pitch count deep. So I think that's something we're going to have to pay attention to as we progress into the later innings.
But it's shaping up to be one of those games, and yes, this is just the first inning, but as a pitcher, it gives you so much confidence when your defense is making plays like the Monarchs defense is making for Felton. Just 2 base runners so far for Atlanta, nobody threatening, have yet to put a runner in scoring position. That one missed high for ball 1. Swing and a miss from Eccles.
Down to our final strike right now. But again, for the pitcher you're able to see, she's pulling out a full bag of tricks.
You were determined that you were going to use that turn of phrase no matter what.
Definitely.
You were getting that full bag of tricks in there.
There we go.
Misses high for ball 2. Eccles out of Florida, and you're going to hear us mention this time and time again. D1 talent all over the field. And that one misses again, and you see the Monarchs dugout kind of asking the umpire already, where are these pitches missing? 3-1 is the count, so you know what Eccles is thinking.
There we go. Unable to get that down, but she's able to stay alive, and I think in moments like this, that's the key here.
But as a hitter, 3-1 when you miss that pitch because you know They call that a hitter's count for a reason, and you know you're getting the best pitch of that at bat at 3-1. When you're not able to turn on that and drive that one for a base hit, it gnaws at you because now everyone's on their heels for a full count.
Right. There you go. Got another foul.
Fouls another one off, and she's in the fight looking to keep this inning alive for Atlanta. Looking to keep pace because the way that Monarchs offense looked in the top half of the first inning, if Atlanta doesn't settle in, could be a long night here at the Andre Rogers Stadium.
Certainly. But again, a firm stance in the bottom box. There we go again. Wow, tremendous
Line
play
drive
from the
caught.
first baseman.
What's in it?
Tremendous play.
So that'll do it at the end of one. Orlando takes a 2-0 lead. Atlanta unable to get runners in scoring position, unable to threaten.
Number 27 for the Orlando Monarchs. Number 27, first baseman Julia Kutsuyanopolis.
I can't see the red ones on the top here. Only the whites.
So Autumn P is looking to settle in now. Of course, Atlanta needs to have a better defensive inning than they had in the first. Trailing 2-0 right now to Orlando. First pitch just outside for a ball.
Definitely has a stronger command this second inning. We touched on it in the first inning for the Monarchs, but we want to also take the time to introduce our local audience to the Atlanta Smoke. With Atlanta, it's all about the smoke. That's the brand that they want to use. That's what they're pushing. That's what they brought to Nassau tonight. And for Pease, it's been a bit of a struggle, but I think if she holds true to her talent, she could really steer this team. Again, a strong pitch by her. I think right now we're looking at a 1-2 count.
And they were looking to ring the batter up just now. But yeah, Atlanta, of course, they're all the smoke is on all their social media handles, and that's what this team said they came down here for. They want the competition. They want to be challenged. Certainly challenged here. And a much better start to the second inning. They get the first out.
But that pitch came down to her ability to choke up in the corner and just force her to make a play that she wasn't ready to play. So, again, that's what you look for in a pitcher, somebody that's able to control the at-bat and force hitters to make decisions that they wouldn't necessarily make. So tremendous play right there by Pease.
At the plate right now, Alyssa Garcia, the catcher out of UCLA, and Pease is in there for strike one.
UCLA to Orlando. Not to not. So that's a lot. That's a lot.
So you see now, and I think the popularity of women's college softball is going to give growth to the game at the professional level. And so there are going to be more opportunities for players like these ladies here and others like them coming out of the NCAA.
And that's what you always want to see. You want to see leagues actually grow as they go on. For women to have that professional opportunity to actually take their talents to the next level, it's tremendous to see something like this actually, you know, take off. Again, we see the ability for Peas.
The off speed is dangerous.
Yes. But again, it comes down to confidence. You see it in the first inning and out into the second, and the ability to sit back and control not only your speed but the direction as well. There we go. Foul ball.
Garcia fouls that one off. 1-2 the count.
But in moments like this, when you have a player with the power ability of Garcia, you have to question, is she just one hit away from not only putting the ball in play, but the ability to put some points up on the board.
Got her off balance again, but that one just a bit low. Count even now at 2-2.
If it was me calling, it would have been a strike, but I guess I'm seeing things a little better.
That is why you are here, and that is why Blue is behind the catcher, because that is an experienced professional.
All respect to Blue. All respect.
And we just get paid to talk about it.
There we go. Again, location's a bit concerning for me, but
full count now. I think Peas and the entire Smoke roster thought she had that one on the score sheet.
I think now we see the power of Garcia.
Fouls another one off, and this is a battle in this at-bat.
But in typical sports language, you know, style makes fight. And right now what we've seen from Peas is the ability to try and locate that ball, that fastball low and away. And Garcia is just not relenting. She's really holding both corners of that home plate right now.
I think the off-speed's coming.
Again.
Garcia is on the fastball. She's not going to blow it by her. She's going to have to get her off balance.
And again, it comes down to the power. All you have to do is make contact at that and try and get it off. And that's what she's been doing.
As a pitcher, the worst thing is when a good hitter knows that you can't get by them with the fastball. And that's exactly what this looks like right now. Full count. Peas looking to put Garcia away.
The ability to battle and stay alive.
Is that the humidity that you were talking about, or
we're getting there?
think?
We're getting there.
What do we think?
I think she was just trying to force her to go lower, and it didn't work out. So again, a tremendous pitch by Peas, but it just didn't go in her favor.
Great at bat there for Garcia.
So again, we saw this in the first inning. The Monarchs with the ability to get somebody on and move them over. I think that's the strategy most of the night for them.
At the plate now, Chloe Malawolu. We saw Tess with the leadoff double. And she's going to, when she goes to the changeup early in the at-bat, it's been effective. Perhaps what she couldn't get done with Garcia tries to get done here with Malawolu.
Not sure it's going to work, though. There we go.
Chance for two.
Ooh, way to clean her up by Malawolu.
They get Garcia. They get Garcia out at second. Malawolu advances on the errant throw.
For me, it always comes down to how that base runner gets into second base, and we saw it there. Garcia went in strong. She kind of misdirected the second baseman to try and get that ball over, and I was able to get Malawolu not only on base but over the second as well.
Where are we scoring that? E6 or E3?
E3.
It's got to be E3.
Yeah.
At the plate now, Kylie Sand. And that one just gets by the shortstop, and they are sending Malawolu home. Play at the plate.
Tremendous
she
speed.
is safe.
We got the runner advancing over the third. Does she make a play? Okay, no, she's going to stop right there at third. But again, the speed of Malawalu on the bases, she was able to do it on the arrow, on a hard bat, moving from first over to second. And we saw it just now going all the way from second all the way home to push this lead up a bit. It's now 3-0 for the Monarchs here in the second inning.
So 2 difficult plays for Woolley at shortstop, unable to turn the double play, and then that base hit from San just gets by her and ends up not only being an RBI, but San advances all the way to third. And now back to the top of the lineup, Tess Malawalu. And as we mentioned, she doubled to right field in her first at-bat. Monarchs in a great spot here. One away, back to the top of the lineup.
Nice pick.
Not nice enough. A 1-1 the count. And she fouls one off. Let's see if we're going to have another one of these marathon at-bats here for the Monarchs. Certainly one through this entire lineup has been tough outs.
Right.
There's been nothing easy for this Smoke defense.
But I think it comes down to Pease again. She's just struggling to locate some of those pitches. She had a tremendous go at it with the changeup early on, but a lot. She was able to get the changeup in there just now as we talked about it.
And able to get out of the inning and records her first strikeout.
Yes.
But the Monarchs are able to put one on the board in the top half of the second and take a 3-0 lead. Getting it started for Atlanta, bottom half of the second inning. Morgan Howe at the plate. Felton just misses inside for ball 1.
If she's able to locate that pitch tonight, it's going to be a quick run through some of these innings.
She's constantly been on the inside, just on the hands of these Atlanta hitters, and there she is with the easy comeback to the...
It's just a level of confidence she's playing with so early on in this game.
I think it's a level of confidence for this entire Monarchs team, but that's why your leadoff hitter is so important, because Malawalu really set the tone for this team with that double. You saw the energy just shift right after that, and that momentum really hasn't slowed down this entire game. Who's going to be that fire starter for Atlanta? Standing in at the plate right now, Silent Rain Espinoza.
Love the name, by the way.
It's
going down the list before
Listen.
we got on air tonight. I was like, that's the one I'm looking forward to, just on the name alone.
On two rosters of incredible names, Silent Rain Espinoza is probably your winner.
Trying to figure out the thought process behind putting that name together. That matchup was a nice,
Doesn't matter. It's incredible.
I've never seen a stance like this. Is a bit of a crouch. I'm trying to figure out in a stance like that, is it just to make contact? Because there's no way to get power in a stance like
We're
that.
going to figure out right now how effective it is against Felton. There hasn't been much effective against her tonight. Well, she answered all of your questions about the stance. Espinoza goes in for the double.
Tremendous play by Silent Rain. I had my doubts looking at the stance just now, but her ability to deliver power out of that. A rocket shot into center field just now.
And like we just said during that at-bat, Atlanta's going to need somebody to kind of start this rally to get things going. Maybe Silent Rain Espinoza is the one to get it done. Stand-up double. At the plate now, number 77, Jasmine Hill, fouls off the first pitch.
No, sorry. The ball came for me. That ball came right to me.
So Atlanta left two base runners stranded in the first. This is the first time they have a runner in scoring position, Espinoza. Now let's see what Hill can do here to keep that momentum going. Just a bit low. 1-1 the count.
I would try that fastball again.
I think she is. I think she is. The fastball has been effective all game so far. I see no reason for that to slow down here in the second inning.
Go.
In there for strike two. Catches Hill swinging, and she steps out of the box. Trying to make that adjustment now. Misses outside. 2-2, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning.
And as a batter in this position, what thoughts run through your mind? The idea of trying to, not to put the team on your back, but you guys got off to a slow start. You want to make a play. You want to get that run over from second to at least third. And maybe if you could try and push into a score.
So I think the first thought in her mind is, I probably need to get a base hit, because if I do, then we score. If we score more than they do, then we win.
Strong analysis.
Yes.
Strong analysis.
I mean, you asked what she's thinking. There is no hitter in the history of this sport, whether baseball or softball, that steps in and has not thought, I want a base hit.
No, but you have some players that overthink in positions like this. Taking into consideration where the team is right now, slow start. You want to make something happen, and you want to be the player to deliver in moments like this. She was able to earn a walk just now. She passes the pressure down the line. Do we expect the same thing here?
Fought back from 2 strikes.
I think we got a cue the audience at our discussion beforehand. So during the pregame, we had the DJ inside the stadium here tonight.
Be very careful.
Before
we go there, let's set up Taylor Kraft now at the plate. And like you mentioned, that pressure from Hill to make something happen now passes along
But it's
to
a
Kraft.
bit easy at this point, because now you have runners.
But I don't think it's ever easy when you're trailing. Yes, you have runners on first and second. But trailing 3-0. And now the bases are juiced.
But back to the point we was making about the pregame festivities. We saw for the first time in a long time the game of Hackensack getting players
Both
walk
teams.
up in it. I was a bit shocked by it. It kept the momentum going.
I will say this. Orlando was into the hacky sack first.
That's what
Did it have an effect on how strong they started this game in the first
Definitely,
inning?
you saw the energy there that translated.
Their muscles were activated.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You
yeah.
saw it. The energy was there, and I think the music going on, like we talked about earlier on, It got the emotions, it got the blood flowing.
The music did have a distinct Atlanta edge. There was a whole snap music playlist that was going on, but the hacky sack stronger than the music.
Fair point. Fair point. So
For now at least. So Orlando wanting to talk it over.
Also just trying to get the pitcher settled a bit. She's a bit rattled after betting the last 3 at bats up on base now. Just trying to get her back in her zone, and she was in a bit early on. Trying to control that fastball.
So Maddie Grimm will step in with the bases loaded, looking to make a big play for the Smoke. Grimm takes a big cut, but just misses. Foul tip for strike 1. Grimm, an infielder out of Kent State. Really needs a disciplined at-bat here to get this first run for the Smoke.
At this point, we talked about the pressure early on. I feel like she's in the best position so far during this inning because all you have to focus on is just getting the ball in play.
But now the pressure shifts over to Felton. Just 1 out, bases loaded, but it alleviates a lot of pressure when you can get a hitter swinging and missing like that. 2 strikes now, 1-2 the count, and this could be a big strikeout here if she's able to retire Grimm and keep these base runners stranded. Felton delivers.
Does it get down? No, it doesn't.
So a sac fly will do the job. Grimm drives in a runner. So the Smoke are finally on the board.
First run of the season, first run of the game.
I really wanted to go with the pun that the prospects were looking grim, but then she came through with the sac fly.
Pretty sure our audience would appreciate that.
I was so close. Back to the top of the lineup for the Smoke, Janae Jefferson. Runners on first and second. Felton misses outside.
But we've seen it a couple of times tonight. Felton has been a bit up and down. And when she gets into a bit of a rut, it stretches a bit. Multiple pitches start to go awry, but when she gets into a groove, she has the opportunity to just power pitches by a lot of these batters.
Has only given up 2 hits so far. It was the double to Espinoza and then the bloop single in the first inning to Jefferson. Other than that, Felton has had pretty good command of the game so far. Jefferson looking to go 2 for 2, fouls that one off.
Do some college information on Jefferson.
Out of Texas, right now, the queens of the collegiate softball world. Still celebrating, I assume, getting by Texas Tech and their $1 million arm, Najee Kennedy.
I think we don't consider much how these players have the bounce back, because we talked about the softball World Series in college. That was what, a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Now immediately out here competing at a professional level, again putting that talent on display.
Giving them another opportunity, because there are so, and we saw the numbers that the College World Series drew, and Felton, huge strikeout there.
I think we're on.
Sorry, full count. But yes, back to the attention that the College World Series drew. You see that there's a market for women's softball to be played at the professional level.
Easy out there at first base, but Jefferson.
So I was a bit ahead, but just as good as a strikeout. Gets Jefferson to ground out easily to first and out of the inning, giving up just 1 run. So the Smoke finally get on the scoreboard. We head to the top of the third. Monarchs lead 3-1. Action back here at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium here in Nassau, Bahamas. The first of 3 games for the Queens in Paradise softball series. Ronaldo Dorsett here in the booth with Ricardo Wells. Orlando Monarchs take a 3-1 lead into the third. Autumn Pease on the mound. Alex Coleman at the plate for the Monarchs. Pease gets in there for strike 1. Great effort from Coleman up the line. Made that one a closer call than it needed to be, but the Smoke still able to record the out.
I'm still yet questioning the call. I thought she was safe. I thought she was safe.
The delay is what had everyone thinking. See, I feel like as an umpire in that situation, you got to go quick with the call.
Yeah.
Because when you delay like that,
You leave a little bit of space for doubt.
but also, think about it. They're trying to be showmen too.
Ooh, some heat there from Pease. Working on some of that frustration from the early innings. Tremendous speed on that fastball just now.
And in there for strike 1. Another one back to the pitcher. 2 outs for Pease.
And the beauty is in it so far, again, she's not even going down in that pitch count. Both of the first batters, we got them out at what? 2 pitches, 3 pitches?
Yep. And that was Skaggs who was able to double in the first inning, but Pease doing much better with this lineup the second time around. Through the hole for a base hit.
Tough play there for the shortstop. I don't know if she mistimed it a bit coming off the bat, but just was unable to make that play.
Smith in there with the single.
Making this trip here, back half of June, what do you think a lot of these players are looking forward to after the game? Because that's normally the fun that they think about.
I think at this moment right now, Carter, these professionals are looking to see who is going to get the win, because the most important thing is what happens here on the field. Is a trip to the Bahamas always great? Absolutely. But we'll ask them that later. We don't want people to assume that they are doing anything other than focusing completely on this series.
Whether it's Bahamas, whether it's Atlantis, the daiquiris are always good.
And of course, Bahamas is a sponsor of this event.
Daiquiris are even better. Daiquiris are even better.
1-1 the count. And she did go.
See the call being checked down there at third base. Call confirmed, so she did go around like you said. So
Barbara at the plate. And Smith gets our... Smith advances to second. Now in scoring position for Barbara. But we've been in this business long enough to know that every coach, every player is going to say it's a business trip first.
to get a fall?
Deep to left.
There we go.
Absolutely not.
No, it is a business trip, but
The smoke hold that thought. The smoke get out of the inning, and for the first time, they are able to keep the Monarchs off the scoreboard. We head to the bottom of the third, 3-1 Orlando.
Why they on smaller than the rest of the field? No, that's something with that's a softball thing. I mean the field. Why the field cut? Oh, I didn't know that. Because at first I was talking, I was like, wait, where they went? Is that? I didn't see what was going on.
Leading off to the smoke, shortstop, number 3, Coco Woolley.
So here at the bottom of the third inning, Monarchs take a 3-1 lead. And so we have to question, right? So they were playing OT Genesis, and I was wondering, was it just a random song, or was that specifically for Coco Woolley coming up at the plate?
the swagger she walked into the box with, it has
You think
to
it was
be-
for her, right? It has to be
a
a walk-up song.
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, because if there was a song going, I'm in love with the Coco and my name's Coco, that has to be my walk-up music. Like, you don't really even have a choice with that one.
Match made rap effort.
And then you got to produce.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a lot of pressure on her right now.
But I'm still impressed by Felton's ability tonight. She's been able not only, she struggled a bit, as we said early on, to keep pace, but once she's in a groove, my God. Again.
Again, Woolley trying to lay down that drag bunt, unable to connect. And that's going to be 2 strikes, 1 and 2 the count to lead off the third.
I think for Atlanta to be able to actually break through in this game, somebody's going to have to challenge Felton at some point. Somebody's going to have to square up against her and drive one of those fastballs out. Bit off on the left side right there.
Yeah, so far Espinosa's really been the only one to get an extra base hit, and we questioned whether that would open things up, but the rest of the Smoke lineup a bit late to the party.
But we saw even with that hit, it was a bit of a battle. Oh, wow. She get it. Ah, close call. Out.
Close call, and advantage goes to the defense on that one.
We saw Coco just now put on the speed, so I thought she had the ability to get there just now, but
Was that as close as the call that we saw in the top half of the
No,
third?
it was not. No, it was not. That was a bit cleaner than the call we saw on the top of the first inning.
Jada Cody now at the plate for Atlanta. The Monarchs are on it, charging for that bunt. Didn't see Cody square around, but... And now she's showing it right at the outset. He's going to pull back on this one. So quickly down in the count now. Felton gets ahead with 2 strikes. Goes high on that one.
Let's see, this is our opportunity now not to fall into that fall off that we've seen from her so far tonight.
She had a pitch to waste. Ahead 0-2 on the count.
My concern is always going to be what happens on that second pitch after we see about there. Oh. It's a bit of a sloppy play just now, grounding that out, but
it was one of those places balls hit in a weird position that it could have gone either way, but Skaggs there to make the play. For a split second there, it looked like you had 3 players converging on it, and they weren't sure who was going to attack that one.
I think that was the issue just now. You saw the look at the first baseman, Julia, trying to figure out if it was her to make the cover.
What's her last name?
Julia.
Okay.
Julia is her first name. We're going to go with that. If anybody's listening right now and you want to get on Twitter, just give us the abbreviations for that so we can try and get that up tonight. But it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle probably the entire weekend.
Charlotte Eccles now at the plate for the Smoke. And really, other than getting into some trouble in the second inning, this game has belonged to Felton.
Definitely. She's taking command of it almost from the get-go. Low away in the dirt just now.
Starts behind on this count now. Eccles gets ahead. 2-0, but 2 out here for the Smoke.
For me, it's always going to be the idea that this game is going to break open for the Smoke by somebody challenging Felton. We've just not seen that yet. We've seen her take command of these at-bats and basically put these batters in the spot that she wants them in. She kind of takes the pace away from them. Just with a fastball here, then hit him with a quick changeup. It's like almost like a 1-2 punch in boxing right now for her.
So 3 straight balls from Felton. Garcia wants to have a quick word. Let's see if they get back in the count. Eccles looking to spark a 2-out rally here for the Smoke, looking to get back into this one. Delivery from Felton. In there for the strike.
What a way to bounce back.
So I feel like this kind of thing happens whenever it's your team in an at-bat, and then the hitter goes up 3-0 on the count. You get that strike, and just as I was about to say it, it's always you get that strike, and then it's a foul ball, and now everyone's back on their heels again. You go from what looked like an easy at-bat 3-0, now all of a sudden, full count, pressure's back on everybody.
Yes.
The baseball, softball gods seem to make that happen just about every time. And Eccles is going to pop up to second. Felton again getting out of trouble and battling back from an at-bat where she fell behind 3 balls.
As a manager, you just have to respect what she's doing in this game thus far. She's taking control.
And that'll do it for the third. Monarchs still lead 3-1. top of the 4th inning. Ball 1 from Pease.
Ooh.
So Pease falling behind, 2 balls here to begin.
As Ronaldo said back in complete amazement that the in-stadium announcer was able to get Julia's surname right
I call
on.
her Julia K. I've always done that.
I'm just calling her Julia.
I've always called her Julia K. She's one of those budding superstars where they get first name and letter treatment. We should just start calling her JK, just like KD. All of the biggest stars get that treatment.
I'm not sure if we're going to do it for the exact same reason. I'm going to do it because I can't pronounce her surname. Pretty sure you're going to do it because she's just so great.
Yeah.
But we're going to meet in the middle somewhere.
Once you understand.
Okay.
3-1 count, hitters count here. He is trying to battle back in this at bat. Started off with 2 balls. Fly out to short. And they put the first one away. And this was the matchup that we saw in the 2nd inning that really got things going for the Monarchs. Garcia, like you said, she looks like one of those hitters that can change the game on a single swing. You know the fastball is not going to get by her. Pease has to get her off balance. Tries to go low, too low.
And I hate to be the one to call it out.
No, you don't. Whenever someone says, I hate to be the one to call it out, they are thrilled to be the one to call it out.
I see a bit of fear in Pease's
go.
eyes when she sees Garcia in the box.
You can't even see her eyes from the
Yeah,
side.
I could. You could look at it and see she's a bit off kilter. Okay. Looking at the pure power of Garcia. If you don't believe me, she's not been able to locate any of those first 2 pitches. Both have been in dirt. She's fearful of getting up in that zone right now. Let's see what she does on this 3rd pitch.
So Garcia certainly has had a storied collegiate career before turning pro. Drives that one just over the outstretched hands of the shortstop, in there for a single. From UCLA to San Diego State to Pacific, and now here with the Orlando Monarchs.
I always like to make a joke in moments like this. When you see a first base coach communicate with a hitter after a really, really good at bat and a tremendous hit to get the inning going, what do you say to them? Is it more so, hey, just good job? Or
Okay, so as someone that my experience level in this sport has only been volunteer dad ball at a very young age, what I would do is 2 claps, 2 thumbs up.
to signal exactly what?
Good job.
Okay, all right.
Pause. At this point, listen, they already got the base hit. All you need in this moment is positive affirmation. So you are just reassuring them. They know it was a good job, but you're reassuring them, hey, 2 claps, 2 thumbs up, good job.
But see, this is why I brought it up. We see a pitch hit in there for Garcia.
Oh, yeah, you got to get your catcher out of there.
Huh.
So Stormy Kotzelnik now in for Garcia, and you see why they placed her on, already taking the bag at 2nd, showing up. First opportunity, first pitch, an opportunity to show off the speed. And now just like that, after Garcia's single, Monarchs have another runner in scoring position.
Immediately paid dividends getting over the 2nd base just now, putting a runner in scoring position. Hoping that the next bat up could just, you know, move her along one more, even get a home. Ooh.
Chloe Malaulu now at the plate.
I think you do yourself a disservice in moments like this, leading off with that bunt. Showing that bunt right away, you kind of give the advantage over to the pitcher because, you know, she just has the power by you. You don't have the ability to pull back and actually make a play, and I think we saw that just there.
And I was about to say right before that swing, of course that was going to lead to an announcer jinx. And by you saying she did herself a disservice, I expected a double in the gap right away.
With the speed on 2nd, if she does get a double. I think we could see this game stretch it a bit more in a moment like this. So the pressure is on Peas right now.
And she goes high. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Monarchs with an opportunity here to add to this 3-1 lead.
Is it too early to look at the bullpen for the smoke?
It's never too early. It's so important to get the first win of this series. Gets her off balance. And out number 2. The changeup in the dirt. Well, in this situation, in the turf.
But just now we see that speed on second actually almost paying dividends again, because before the play was made at first, the first baseman had to look over the second to see if she had the force holder there. And she realized that she didn't have a play and was able to go back to first with it to get that at first. So the speed on second base could be a major factor moving forward.
Kylie Sands singled in her first at-bat, was able to advance on that third, got 2 RBIs on that single. Got 1 RBI in that single, and that gave the Monarchs their 3-0 lead in the second.
I think the runner should look to get a little bit of a lead on second base.
Sand fouls that one off.
What I think for this lineup for the Monarchs is a bit strange to see it set up like this. A lot of speed on the back end of this lineup, and a lot of power up top. That's usually the other way around.
It's paid dividends so far because the bottom half of the lineup has been very productive for the Monarchs. Like we mentioned, Sand has an RBI to her credit. And that was a perfect bunt. Able to lay that one down, and she is 2 for 2. And advances Kotzelnik over to third.
Sand is having a really tremendous night so far.
And now the Monarchs feeling good about themselves, dancing to the music in the background, and back to the top of the lineup with Tess Maluolu. 1 for 2. Doubled in her first at-bat.
My favorite stance of the night. So I have to ask the fans over in Orlando. Are the Malumalu's sisters? I feel like we need to research that on that.
You know, it's our responsibility as the broadcasters to do the research on that.
We're in 2025 right now. Twitter is an extension of the booth. Let's get them out there. Get the oh, wow.
And the Smoke get out of trouble. Grounds out to first. Headed to the bottom half of the fourth. Still a 3-1 lead for Orlando.
Let me Google this.
Bottom half of the fourth. And Morgan Howe at the plate rips a line drive that just went foul. Pitching change on the mound for the Monarchs. So Felton's night is done. They go to Jaden Vickers. So 1-1 the count. One and two the count. First batter Vickers has faced on the night. Slaps one over to shortstop. Sand is there. And they record the first out for Vickers. In there for a strike. And now it seems the Monarchs have come out of the bullpen with some speed. Vickers has yet to throw anything off speed, has yet to throw a changeup. But that one is through for a base hit. And Espinoza is 2 for 2 on the night.
You talked earlier about being jinxed in the broadcast booth. That was it just now. The second you went to compliment her, she gave up a...
Yeah, but I think, and we both mentioned this before the broadcast, we knew that Espinoza was going to have a big game just because the name Silent Rain is so strong. 2 for 2 on the night. He has a double to right center, and now the single just outside, ball one. Jasmine Hill looking to get something going here for the Smoke. Espinoza has been starting, but the rest of that lineup, they need to go with her if they are going to get back into this ball game now. 1-1 on Hill. Hill out of Arizona State. 0 for 1 on the night.
Vickers is a product of Rutgers, isn't she?
Yeah, New Jersey product.
11-8 record last year. Well, I think in 2023. She has...
Hill tried to slap that one opposite field, just goes foul. So 2-2. Vickers with the delivery. This is outside again. Full count here for Hill. So big pitch here, whether it's a base hit, whether it's ball four. Smoke with an opportunity to have runners at first and second. Vickers delivers. Hill tries to slap that one through. Sand gets the base runner. Will they turn to? No.
Unable to just now.
Safe at first, but they get the out at second. Heads up play by San.
Hassan has been tremendous on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball so far tonight. But I have to ask, was it too early for the Monarchs to go to the ball play and making the switch from Felton over to Vickers? I'm not saying that Vickers has not had a good night so far in our first inning, but the tremendous effort that we saw from Felton, it feels like it's a step down.
There could be a lot that played into it. That could have been the plan before this game even started. I mean, the production hasn't fallen off with Vickers coming into the game, and I mean, it's early to say that because we've only seen her for half of an inning, but there's a lot that goes into it. This could be a decision that was made before first pitch.
That's why I focused it on momentum. Not necessarily a big fall off, but the team was rolling. Let's see if she's able to get up on this inning.
Taylor Kraft now, the catcher. 1-1 the count. Hill on first, 2 outs. One thing you do get from softball is you do get a lot of unique stances. It feels like baseball was like that back in the 90s. That's kind of been taken out of the game now. I feel like everyone's more uniform, so to speak.
Right.
You don't have the unique stances like you did, I feel like, when we were kids.
But also, I think in baseball, the science is taking over. I feel there's so much information out there on why your knee should bend this way, why the elbow should point that way. And I think in softball, you have the ability for persons to be more creative. Tremendous play there by the first baseman, Julia.
And that'll do it for the fourth. Again, Monarchs able to escape a bit of trouble. 3-1 headed into the fifth.
Oh, they can set me up today. Yeah, I was trying to find some more information on them.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if they just moved from Texas because everything I'm pulling up is Texas.
It could very well be that. With small leagues, it's very possible that that's what it is. Huh? Wait, if I didn't end up stopping, I would have get here at 6:30?
Yeah, they did. So that's what I was trying to figure out because this is a championship squad.
Okay.
Apparently, they have a girls' camp tomorrow as well.
So a pitching change for the Monarchs, but the smoke will stay with Pease on the mound. Alex Coleman gets started for the Monarchs here, top half of the fifth. Pease misses high for ball 1.
First base coach is a little bit animated right now to start the inning.
I mean, you have to be, right?
She's trying to get that down on the third base side, but was unable to. I don't know, it seemed like she choked up on the bat a little bit. The ball maybe just ran up on her a little bit too quickly. Let's see if Pease is able to locate it, force it in there.
I think this Smoke coaching staff is showing a lot of confidence in her, staying with her throughout this game. You mentioned whether the Monarchs went too quick going to Vickers over Felton, but the Smoke have done the opposite, even trailing 3-1. Obviously, just 2 runs.
And we remember early on in the game, Pease was being, touched up a bit by the Monarchs.
That first inning.
Yes.
That first inning was...
to see her survive that, again, she's getting better as the night goes on. She's understanding these batters on the second, now third go-around on this lineup. She's understanding where they lay in, how they trying to approach in the batter's box. And she's capitalizing on all of that.
Coleman fouls that one off.
Bit of communication there on the third base side.
So 1-2 the count. Coleman leading off top of the 5th here for Orlando, looking to add to this lead. Ooh. Just misses low. I think this is the part of the lineup where you mentioned Orlando has all of these speedsters.
Right, on the back half, so.
And Coleman looking to get out quickly. And she is in there and is able to take 2.
There is that speed right away.
Takes 3. And what looked like she was going to just slap it in there for an infield single turns into standing on third base. What a way to start the inning for the Monarchs. And it was just in time. We mentioning that speed gets all the way to third.
But you saw P struggle a bit to field that ball, and that delayed her a bit on the relay over the first base end. I'm not sure what happened there with the first baseman. She was a little bit out of position and unable to make that play, and it just went downhill from there.
And that ball just ended up in such a precarious position to field it because it took her over to third and made it a difficult throw where she had to turn her body. Espinoza on the smaller side for a first baseman. Difficulty making the play. And that error turns into a big play for Orlando.
But that's been the story tonight for the Monarchs, just being able to get not only a player on base, but the ability to move them around. And to start this inning, we see they start off on third base, so it may spell trouble for the rest of this inning.
And now let's see what happens here with Pease on the mound.
We failed to mention early on, we speak about this team, the Atlanta Smoke, and what we discovered is the championship lineage. They are the first champions of the women's fast pitch league, moving over from Texas over to Atlanta, trying to get into that Atlanta flair. So hopefully it pays off tonight. I know they have a camp going on tomorrow for some of the locals here in the Bahamas, teaching some of our young girls, not only the discipline of softball, but some of the skill set to get to the next level.
Yeah, this is going to be a full week of activities. I think once you know the Don't Blink brand is attached, you know what comes along with that. It's not just about the event, whether it's the Home Run Derby that they host every year, or now obviously partnering with Be For Real Entertainment and getting into softball, but there's always community outreach whenever they host these events. Right now, P's in trouble. 3 balls. And Skaggs really has to have a green light. She had a 3-0 count. That one looked to be low. It looked to be ball 4. But she fouled that one off.
I think the Monarchs, now that they're playing with house money right now, the pressure is completely on Pease to try and get out of this tough spot. So I think the idea there is if there's something you see and you know you can put a play on it, go for it.
Yeah, with a runner on third, Skaggs just looking to put that one in play. But now this is a danger when you do that, because with just 2 pitches right back, they're going to say she went. So now
3-2, full count.
Full count for Skaggs.
Let's see if Pease is able to locate this and get her first out of the inning.
And that'll be a huge one.
There we go.
Does get her swinging. So incredible
Pease
fight from Pease to get back into that one.
If she's able to survive this inning without putting any points up on the board, I think she would rule this as a tremendous outing here. Our first night in the
Absolutely. It looks
Queens of Paradise series.
It looked to be a disaster, especially after going down 3 balls to Skaggs. But That one play where she fouled that one off completely changed the complexion, could change the complexion of this inning.
We've been talking about stances in the box all night. This is a professional stance we see right here. She looks, and I hate to say it like this, like a major leaguer, just tremendous posture.
In there for the strike.
So as we move late into this game, we've seen Pease now struggle a bit to try and locate that changeup. What do you think is a strategy for the rest of this inning to try and work her way out of this tough spot?
So I think right now she knows that this Monarchs lineup has been on the fastball. The strikeouts that she's gotten, you see on two different occasions, that third strike has been in the dirt.
Yes.
So getting them off balance, and it seems to be whenever she has two strikes on the batters, changing that vision, changing that line of sight and going low has worked for her. So that seems to be how she shifted her strategy here in the fourth and the fifth innings. And lines it right to second.
The confidence to start and then see that coming directly at you. And not flinch, make a play. Tremendous play by the second baseman.
Mac Barbara now at the plate. Pease trying to work herself out of a jam. Inning started like there would be disaster, but
she's been able to hold that run over there at third for the majority of this inning.
And that would be a tremendous confidence boost to this Atlanta team if they are able to do that.
She survived a lot tonight, though.
She needs to run support. You know, theoretically speaking, every coach is going to say,
just like that.
And Barbara just inside the foul line. RBI for Mac Barbara. And they were one pitch away from Pease getting out of that inning unscathed, but Barbara able to take it the opposite field.
Right down the foul line.
Right down the foul line, in there for the base hit. So 4-1 Monarchs. 2 out. Pease delivers. Misses inside to even the count at 1-1.
I would have some questions on that. I'm not questioning Blue. We've had a.
You are absolutely questioning Blue. It's the only question you could have after the pitch. What other question could you possibly have?
I felt like it was a strike.
Yeah, we knew that's what you were alluding to. I don't know why you started off with, I don't want to question.
It's the exact same location on that pitch. Exact same location. P's able to get us in a 1-2 count right now. Looking to get out of this inning with just 1 run scored by the Monarchs.
That's been the pitch that's been getting these Monarchs batters off balance. 2-2.
But I think on that last pitch, she lost a little bit of momentum as the ball left her glove. So hopefully she could compose herself and deliver 1 good pitch to get him out of this inning.
That was nearly that 1 good pitch. Goes foul.
You have to question how much longer Peace can go in this game, though.
It's not out of reach as yet. I mean, 3 runs. I will say the way the Atlanta offense has looked, 3 runs seems kind of bigger than it actually is because they haven't been able to generate much offense so far. But theoretically speaking, you want to think that 4 runs is not going to be enough to beat you.
But we saw the Monarchs make the switch to Vickers in the last inning, and we don't know just yet if the smoke could really, you know, get to her. So we'll have to see that in the back half of this inning. But right now, we think Pease is just trying her hardest to get them out of this inning and not give up any more runs.
In there for called strike 3. Gets out of the inning, but the Monarchs do add a run. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 4-1 Orlando. What number that is? 0? That's 0?
Yeah. You know what that is.
Oh, she didn't. I did not know. Yet she didn't hit the first time.
That's true.
They say you know who that is.
5-5.
No, you know who that is.
Definitely, boy. Star of the team. I understand why she's struggling like that.
They ain't let her hit the first at bat. They bringing the pinch hitter up. Bottom half of the 5th. Anna Marie Bruni now at the plate.
Crowd favorite. Crowd favorite.
And she is on.
We questioned during the breaking in and just now. Where's that fire been the entire game? And
Did
see
we?
just how I've been questioning.
Yes.
I've been questioning. Fan favorite.
So Grim was brought in to pinch hit for Bruni in her first at bat, but her first appearance makes good and exactly what you need from a leadoff hitter in an inning. And now the smoke back to the top of the lineup. Jefferson. Vickers goes high for ball 1.
But I raised this point in the top half of the 5th. The smoke need to find a way to put a few at bats together. Just string them along, move a runner over, and just try to stack it one play after the other.
Yeah, the bases loaded opportunity. They were only able to generate 1 run out of that. You have to feel like you left something on the table.
There's
there.
a steal. Fan favorite tonight is doing all she could.
And Bruni. We questioned earlier who was going to be the spark. It looked like it was going to be Espinoza. She's 2 for 2 at the plate, but Bruni doing the most now with her opportunity.
I always had faith.
You certainly did. Getting
Always
the
had
infield
faith.
single, stealing second, and now a runner in scoring position for Jefferson. Texas product looking to produce in a big spot here for the smoke. Again, Vickers misses high. Ball 3. So we saw Orlando was in this same position the last inning with Skaggs. Do you have her on freeze or do you have the green light here? 3-0. She was going to take a strike no matter what. Vickers put that one right down the heart of the plate. 3-1 now.
I question the placement of that ball for Vickers just now. It's dangerous putting that ball there in this moment.
So we'll see how dangerous it is in this next pitch. And she walks Jefferson. So it's been somewhat of a tough day defensively at short for Coco Woolley. And now we hear her walk-up music. But she can right all of those wrongs here if she is able to come through with a base hit that the Smokes so desperately need. Runners on first and second. No outs. And this is the best position Atlanta's been in all night. Really an opportunity to string together something here. Like you've been saying, they need a few positive at-bats one after the other. This could be it here. You had the infield single from Bruni. Jefferson drew a walk. And now Woolley up at the plate with no outs. And that one's going to get away from Garcia. Pass ball. Now we have runners on second and third. And as a catcher, the burden of expectation is to be perfect every single time, because that one time that you're not, all eyes are on you. Pass ball there. Garcia just lets that one get away. Ooh. So 2 strikes now on Woolley.
I just think Woolley needs to be a bit more patient in the box. Just allow Vickers to try and place the ball in, make a decision from there. Because I don't think Vickers is locked in right now on her location. So I think Woolley has a bit of a space to operate.
And here definitely comes the announcer jinx.
I think she's safe.
What a play,
Tremendous
what
play there.
hustle by Woolley.
But I told you just now, you could see it in Vickers. She was struggling to locate the pitch, so just square up in the box, figure out a way to get the ball on the ground and let the play make itself. Tremendous play there by Woolley.
All individual effort to slide in there at first, and now we have bases loaded.
Who would have thought this 2 innings ago?
Bases loaded, no outs. What an opportunity here for the Smoke, and it's Jada Cody at the plate.
The lead run at bat.
Woolley going all out, sliding head first into first base.
There you go.
And Cody, and that one is caught.
Tremendous play by the right fielder.
And they are going to double them up. Alex Coleman, and that may be the play of the game.
Not only the dive, but the ability to get back up and make a play over at second base. This is a tremendous play by the right fielder.
Smoke had the bases loaded, looked to be a shoreline drive to right. Coleman laid out, and she followed up a tremendous individual effort by Woolley with one of her own in right field to save 2 runs. The presence of mind to get up and double up. Woolley leaving first base. What a play by Coleman.
I think if it's one person that really celebrated that play more than the right fielder is the pitcher to start the game. To protect not only the lead but to protect the win. Because you have to start looking at it at this stage of the game. Ooh. Do we have a play? Do we have a play?
We certainly do, and they get out of the inning. So again, the Smoke had bases loaded, no outs, and able to generate just a single run. We head to the top of the 6th. Orlando leads 4-2.
Trying to find a name of the right fielder who made that play.
Coleman. Alex Coleman. It is. That looked like that was down. It definitely looked like that was down.
respect your body.
Leading off the top of the 6 for the Monarchs, Garcia, the catcher.
These two have had a couple of good at-bats between each other tonight.
And I think the Smoke are going to let, I think they're going to go the distance.
I think this is the last inning for Pease.
Garcia grounds out to second. Pease records the first out. Just 2 pitches in.
That's the easiest she's made a team against Garcia all night. So
Kat Rodriguez into the game for the first time.
the longer she's gone in this game, I've gained a lot of respect for Pease, her ability
She
to.
will be so thrilled to hear that.
I'm just saying, her ability to stay in there despite all of the mishaps that we've seen from her team tonight. She's been able to stay in there and pretty much survive every punch thrown at her.
Misses on that one. 2 balls, no strikes. One out for the Smoke.
They gotta be kicking themselves for
Have
missing
to
an
be.
opportunity.
They were in the perfect position to, at the very least, you got to be thinking we're tying this game up with what they had.
Bases loaded, no outs. And a tremendous play by Coleman, really to suck the momentum right back out.
Because at this moment now, things are getting tight. We're into the 6th inning. You only have 2 more opportunities at bat. You've got to be wondering, are we going to get an opportunity better than the one we just had?
Yeah.
Misses again. 3-1 the count. See, the Monarchs have the bullpen going. Got to wonder if Vickers will be back on the mound. Nothing going in the bullpen for the Smoke, so. And that one in there for the strike. Full count to Rodriguez to get the 6th inning going. Pease digging in.
You got at me early on when I said that Pease was pulling out all of her tricks so far tonight, but to see a pitcher go this late into the game and still have the momentum on a fastball and ability to locate a changeup.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you said that 2 innings in when she had only used about 1 of her tricks. You just were determined that you were going to get that cliche off.
We're here now.
She had not used all of her tricks. Now you can say it.
Okay, fair point.
She has used all of her tricks.
I'm not going to say it. You already took the momentum away
Okay,
from me.
just saying that nobody uses all of their tricks 2 innings into a game. Rodriguez slaps that one back to Pease. Out number 2. Smoke looking to get out of this inning unscathed, and they desperately need to, but this lady has been a tough out. Shortstop Kylie Sand. 2 for 2 on the night. Can she make it 3 for 3? Pease delivers on the first play, fouls that one off. Misses outside. 1-1 the count.
Yet again, we have to mention how good of an opportunity this is for both teams to open up their season down here in Nassau at the Andre Waters National Stadium. What do you think the conversation was like when the announcement was made that they were going to come down here for the
There
series?
was no conversation.
Okay, I just
They were told you're going to start your season playing in the Bahamas, and everyone said yes immediately. Your only thought was, do I have my passport? Yes. I'm gone.
can
Nope.
imagine a conversation with the family.
Nobody questions when it's time to come to the Bahamas. I mean, we know what our sports tourism product is like, no matter the sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, softball now, golf. People want to come to the Bahamas. Like I said, and everyone is going to say it's a business trip first because, of course, it has to be. But then you get to enjoy the amenities, so to speak, right?
Definitely.
There you go.
Talked about the daiquiris earlier, but there's a lot more. It's a lot more than daiquiris.
You are really. Do you just want a daiquiri?
I'm telling you.
Is that what's happening right now?
The humidity is perfect weather for daiquiris.
The most pro daiquiri broadcast has ever been in the history of women's softball.
Just saying, there's so much ways you could go with a daiquiri.
Like, there's one way.
A strawberry, pina
Okay.
colada.
And Sand fouls off another one. We mentioned she's been a tough out. You're seeing that right here. A ball and 2 strikes. Fouls off another one. Now, in this spot, we have seen her throw that low changeup in the dirt. Had several of the Monarchs hitters off balance. We have yet to see that work on Sand. Let's see where Peace chooses to go with
To be
this
fair,
one.
nothing much has worked on her. She's been electric all across the.
On both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, fouling another one
But you
off.
see the attempt again to try and locate that down and away. It's just not. It's just she's not been able to get by her.
And this is the mark of a good hitter. She is going to force you to throw what you don't want to throw.
She's gonna force you to try everything, at least once.
All the tricks.
Oh, that's how we was able to see all the tricks in the inning too. I mean, but where do you go from here if you're Peas, though? Because it's just no place you can try and locate this ball to get around, though.
There's been one pitch that's worked for the 3rd strike.
Again, Peas is trying to sneak out of this inning.
And that was the pitch there, but Sand did not go for it.
And this is what you see when you get around that lineup the 3rd and the 4th time. You see the history of the 2 players, you know, coming up front.
Well, she certainly knows more about this game than I do. And if I knew that was coming. And gets her looking.
Did you know that was coming?
I did not.
Fastball. We've not seen her locate that fastball like that to close out a at-bat. Tremendous job right there from Pease.
And Pease gets out of the inning, head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2 lead for the Monarchs.
This guy can blow this lead right now.
I don't think so.
She can blow this lead right now.
I know, but they ain't showing me enough at the plate.
Huh?
They ain't showing me enough. Like, you know how even if you ain't getting off, you'll see some hard contact and
Yeah.
teams just making plays? I mean, you had that one, but other than that, I don't know.
You could see it from the start of the game, though. Monarchs look as like they just have better hitters. They got more power and they got speed on the back end. That's a crazy lineup, bro.
But really, it was just that first inning that do this, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, this would have been a 2-2 game.
So imagine if she wasn't pitching an okay game.
Yeah. Pivotal 6th inning here for the Smoke, trailing 4-2. And Vickers is in there for the strike. Morgan Howe at the plate for the Smoke. Great start to this inning for Vickers, getting ahead in the count. 0-2. So important for the Smoke to get base runners early. Trying to come back in this game. 2 more opportunities to do it.
We saw Vickers struggle in that last inning to close out at bats. She has the opportunity now to move away from that by finishing up with a clean strike. Wait.
Oh, and it was so close.
See, you told me not to challenge.
It was so close.
Oh, go. I think we have to have a conversation with Blue. I think so.
What are you going to say in that conversation?
I don't understand because it was not. It was a strike. It was a strike.
You see him flabbergasted. Well, all she has to do is do it again. Vickers delivers. That one goes foul.
In professional sports, it's always hard to do a good thing 2 times in a row.
Not for the Florida Panthers.
Well, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But let's see if the Monarchs could help with their city counterpart. They're also based out of Orlando, so.
Ooh. Gets her swinging for the first out. Strike out for Vickers.
I just don't see it in the Smoke lineup where they can actually get the offense from. It's been a struggle so far in this game for them to get anything going on offense, and I think they missed a tremendous opportunity. But if there's one player that can do it, is.
Well, I think it takes a toll on you mentally when you know you missed that opportunity, because now you have to generate all of that from the beginning, and starting with the strikeout, now you place yourself even in a further hole. But up at the plate, Silent Rain Espinoza.
She's the one who got it going.
Off speed from Vickers is high. Vickers delivers. Great play by Skaggs, sacrificing her body to stop a shot. Looked like it was surely to be a base hit. And Skaggs got in front of it.
In key moments this entire game, we see the Monarchs able to make defensive play after defensive play. And you could see it going all around the bases. You could see it out in the outfield. The confidence is building. They understand that this is the perfect way for them to close out this game.
What a play by Skaggs to get in front of that one. And now Hill drives one foul. I thought we had our first homer of the night. Hill took that one opposite field, but goes foul. May want to stay away from Coleman. She was the one that made what has to be considered the play of the game. Jasmine Hill standing in. Vickers stands and delivers. Misses low for ball 1.
You have the one that Vickers saw that just now was like, I don't want to get her back up in that zone to try her again, because she looks a bit unassuming, but she was able to put that one out foul into right field a short while ago. I stand corrected.
But
Vickers
she,
came
I
right
was
back.
I was about to say she has lived high in the zone for much of this game. It's just that her velocity has been overpowering.
Yeah. But she's relying heavily on her support system behind her, so I think she's just trying to put the ball in play and get out of this inning. Ooh, tremendous pitch.
That one in there for a strike.
I think me and Blue, we connected on that one. We were both on the same page.
The entire stadium recognized that that was the easiest strike to call.
He struggled a bit
all
so
night.
far for this game, though. All credit to Blue. Tremendous opportunity tonight.
Vickers looking to get out of this inning, put this one away. Hill and Coleman. You don't want the ball to go anywhere in her vicinity.
Tower out right field. Small stature, but not getting by her right now.
We head to the 7th. Monarchs lead by 2. Where does stuff go in?
Hey, John, the other guy's still shooting with his camera off.
Oh boy, I needed that just now.
Okay, that's funny.
He's only play 7, right? How much the bases losing by?
I ain't even check. They up by 1. Man, OKC being able to get a title with SGA and not with Jade. OKC get, anyway, we can talk about it after. Headed now top of the 7th, and we thought Pease was going to go the distance. Well, I thought. You did call it correctly. That was her last inning.
Kind of is bittersweet for a pitcher to go as long as she did and leave the game without the ability to get a W if they are able to pull it off in the back end of this inning.
The Smoke turn it over to Donnie Goburn. Right-hander out of South Carolina.
But again, for those listening in, this is the first of a 3-game series here in Nassau, Bahamas. Right back at it tomorrow and Saturday.
Gets Malawalu to pop up at shortstop for the first out of the inning. And here's the defensive star of the game now, Coleman.
I don't think you need to put emphasis on defense. I think without her play out there, this would be a completely different game right now. So she's the star of the game.
Fair enough. Still going to call her the defensive star of the game. Coburn in there for strike 1. Delivers.
A feisty pitch just now.
Her entire delivery has a lot of torque. There's a lot of power in her delivery. See that motion she does right before the delivery.
Very, very fast wind up, and just the speed the ball leaves her hands with.
There's a lot going on pre-pitch, but it works. Right now, 1-2 the count. Out at first.
Do you think the Monarchs need a insurance run to close this out, or?
I think they are so confident in what Vickers can do at the plate and just how really the Smoke have struggled offensively. 2 runs in this situation seems pretty safe. So Eccles able to make the play at third to record out number 2. Coburn gets her swinging for strike 1. Misses high. 1-1 the count.
I've never seen quite a windup like this before.
It's been very effective. We've only seen it for half of an inning, but this Monarchs lineup does not look like they're ready for it. Changing the pace, this increased velocity.
Oh,
That's the most swings and misses we've seen this game.
definitely. She came in on a mission, get this over to the back half of it, and see if they could find a way to close it out.
And this is going to be it for the Smoke. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
What did he say just now?
Behind.
You sound Long Island joking you from Velutra, bro? Halliburton have WBB life tonight.
All right. Let's run it.
And y'all live from New York.
Monday. So the Monarchs turn to Sona Halijian to close this one out. And Halijian is in there for strike 1. UCF product. Goes to the changeup. over to Sand. Out 1. 2 outs away now from closing it out.
The pride of Nassau Bahamas up for the final at bat for the night. Hoping that she can make a play and extend the game a bit.
The Smoke certainly are hoping. Anna Marie Bruni, 1 for 1 on the night. Infield single. Sets and delivers. This is outside for ball 1. So game 1 of 3. Of course, you have 2 more opportunities to see these teams battle it out here on the turf at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. Misses high for ball 2. Always interested in game 2s because game 2s tell you so much about adjustments. Ooh. Misses high again.
Thought Bruni had a chance to do something there if she just squared up.
Well, that one was pretty much at her neck, so I don't know how much squaring up was going to help with anything.
Positioning now, positioning.
Okay. Ball 3. Oh.
Checking,
And I think that one caught her on the hand. Seems to be okay. I don't think medical personnel not coming over. Looks like she's just going to walk and shake that one off, and it's going to be ready to go at first.
Just have to make sure she's all the way good. We need her for 2 more nights this weekend. Sort of a lengthy conversation, see if she's okay. Okay, looks like she's going to stay in the game.
So Bruni, the base runner, 1 out. Last chance here for the Smoke. Jefferson steps into the box.
Well, we saw this lineup do damage a few innings back. This is their final chance to see if they can catch lightning in the ball twice.
Well, if you want one part of the lineup with the game on the line, you want it to be the top, and that's where they're at now with Jefferson.
Bruni a couple of innings ago was able to get on first, get over the second on a stolen base. And on a bad pitch, get over the third.
And Jefferson able to lace one through the gap. Bruni going for third. She is in there.
And Jefferson right behind on second base with a double.
So here we go. 1 away. Jefferson doubles, moves Bruni over to third, and again it's Bruni starting the inning with positive momentum for the Smoke. Are they able to capitalize now? They were in this spot in the 5th. Woolley was able to get on. It's nearly identical in this spot. Woolley was able to get on. We remember her great individual effort sliding into first. They had bases loaded. Monarchs want to talk it over. Could this be the beginning of a 1-out rally here for the Smoke?
For Coco, the idea here is not to overthink the moment. It's to try and do as little as possible. Just put the ball in play. Again, 10 out of 10 on the walk-up. See the infield step out a bit. Ooh.
Goes high on the first pitch. In there for ball one.
You have to be careful because if Get-Overs to catch his head, we've already seen the speed tonight by Bruni. She could get down.
We've seen a lot from Bruni. 2 plate appearances, both times on base.
She is the pride of Atlanta. There we go. Do we see it by Coleman again?
Deep to Coleman. Bruni's gonna go, and she will score. Jefferson will move over to third, so a sac fly for Woolley, and that will pull the Smoke within 1.
Tying run at third.
Tying run is at third.
But we've seen, to give them all credit, we've seen the Smoke battle the entire night, never giving up. Even when the opportunities didn't go their way, came back, kept momentum going. To be able to put it together here in the 7th inning would be a tremendous way to kick off the season.
And now Jada Cody here in a big spot. Jefferson on third. Trailing by 1 run. In there for the strike.
Talk about focusing on your pitch. There was no doubt just now where she wanted to go with that right down the middle of the plate as fast as possible.
Cody showing bunt. Pulling back. Ooh. Tries to turn on that one, but now it's 2 strikes. Down in the count 0-2. The difference in this ball game after all that has gone on for 6 2/3 innings is pretty much 1 swing.
Down to their final strike.
Cody now showing bunt again. Pulls back.
Just able to fight it off. Still a glimmer of hope. Tying run right there over at third.
Tying run is at third. Cody is the winning run at the plate. High pressure situation here. Trailing 0-2 in the count. Ooh, goes inside.
Good call by Blue. Good call by Blue.
Brushing Cody back off the plate.
Ooh. Just foul.
Cody sends that one foul, and the at-bat continues. 2 UCF products going at it. One ball, 2 strikes on Cody, 2 outs. Caught her swinging, and that is the ball game.
What a sad way for this to happen for the Smoke. Battled all night to have an opportunity. Like you said, it came down to the last swing.
The Orlando Monarchs get the 4-3 win over the Atlanta Smoke in the first game of our series. And if that is any indication, we are in for 3 days of exciting competition here at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. Your final thoughts on what we saw from game 1?
I think it came down to the defense of the Monarchs. We saw Coleman with the defensive gem of the game. You call it a defensive player of the game. I call it the player of the game. Really good work by this Monarch team to come out and get it started to open up the season.
That'll do it for game 1. Join us right back here for game 2 tomorrow night. First pitch is at 7 p.m. The Atlanta Smoke look to turn the tables and perhaps even up this series. I'm Ronaldo Dorset, joining alongside Ricardo Wells. You've been watching the Queens of Paradise series here on 10th Year Seniors TV.